all. Thanks so much for watching Making Healthcare Work for You, Different Perspectives and Empowering Solutions. I'm Stephanie Fields, joined by my co-host, Dr. Apoorv Gupta, and today we're welcomed by Dr. Helen Riess, who is an Associate Professor of Psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. She is the founder and Chief Medical Officer at Emapthetics. She's author of The Empathy Effect and has a TED-Talk that has 800,000 views on it called The Power of Empathy. And then she's also featured in the PBS docuseries Untold, a brief history of the future, and it's about healthcare. She's going to be on April 24th, and the focus is about love in healthcare and then how that can transform. So Apoorv, you have a question on this one.
Stephanie, Helen, we had a fascinating conversation with you on empathy and your career and how it got to that place. I would love to know, what is this PBS series you're doing, and what makes it so relevant to what we're going through now in the world of healthcare, and specifically tying your ideas around empathy to compassion and love.
So the docuseries producers contacted me because the whole series is basically an antidote to the pessimism and dysphoria that most people think about when they think about the future. And they wanted to give people a window into why can we be optimistic about the future. So it's not only about healthcare, it's also about the environment, the economy, technology, all things that are going to make our world better. And they contacted me because of my research at Mass General that showed that empathy could be taught, so that we don't have to keep saying everyone's getting worse, everyone's so unkind, people are so cynical. We can do something about it. So that's the hopeful message. And one of the quotes in that series that I share is from the Dalai Lama, who said, "Love and compassion are not luxuries. They are necessities without which humanity will not survive." And I think that this message informs all of these different domains that they are focusing on, and particularly the domain of medicine and health.
With that, is the role of love in healthcare different? Does it go along with compassion? How does it play in with empathy? Are those three separate things, or are they somehow one hybrid, like you said, the blend of science and soft skills to train it for empathy?
I think the best answer for that is one that an oncologist named Matthew Kearney wrote about in JAMA, where he talked about exquisite empathy. And that is that moment when two people, usually a care provider, a doctor, a nurse, and a patient, where the patient feels so understood that something almost magical happens between the people, where the gratitude and the feeling filled up, there you can't even distinguish one from the other. And I would say that that's those moments of love where the patient feels so connected to whatever the message and how it was delivered, that there's a moment that they will never forget. I think most people, whether they know it or not, are drawn into medical professions because of someone they loved, something that happened to somebody they knew, they loved, they lost somebody, and there's this deep motivation to care. And why else would you sacrifice so many years of your life and training to go into a profession that demands so much of you if it's not driven by love? And I just think we have to highlight the joy, the incredible fulfillment we get from these jobs when we can stop talking about burnout and depression, anxiety. They're all there, but we need to also talk about it's okay to get help for these things. Let's not stigmatize mental health. Let's get people to embrace it and feel better and talk together and find solutions to bring this really noble profession back to the level where it belongs.
I love that. I love that it's like, it almost seemed like a magical, you said that, this magical intersection that happens when those three things just get together and become something new. I felt like when you were talking about all the other things, like we don't have to focus on all these negative things. I thought, putting the compassion and the empathy and the love into them is kind of like a compost pile. They can turn into a new life and have a positive effect if we harness them properly.
That's really fantastic.
I was thinking of it, Helen. I mean, I was kind of transfixed by when you were talking about that. I was feeling it's more almost like a moment of transformation or transcendence, or you're arriving at a completely different place in your relationship with each other, which is kind of really what allows that patient to feel, empowered and understood enough to embark on the next stage of their journey. So it sounded very, very healing and healthy, really inspired by what you just shared with us.
Thank you. When I've experienced those moments, they are physical. It's not just an idea in my, like there's something that happens in your body that's a transmission. I don't know if it's like a heightened physiologic concordance with the person. Something very transformational does happen. And it can really fill up that emotional bank that Quinn was talking about.
Incredible. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this. This was absolutely fantastic.
I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for having me.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.